Hey, welcome everybody to StratComm.Live, the podcast for small business and nonprofit marketing. I am one of your co-hosts here, Josh Hatcher, the VP of Client Success at Grand River Agency, and I've got my co-host here. That's you?
That's
Who are you?
To be me. My name is Kelsey Boudin. I am the president and founder of Grand River Agency, also one of your co-hosts here on StratComm Live, and we just came in from the cold. We're here in the doldrums of winter. Is that what you would say?
The doldrums.
Doldrums of winter.
The dregs. Yeah, it's like we actually have had like very little winter this year, and
now the snow is coming down outside like
there's a
crazy.
lot of snow. Yeah, I'm worried you might have to spend the night here, buddy.
Yeah, it might not be driving. Might not be driving back. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you might sleep on my couch with my dogs.
I appreciate the hospitality, and I appreciate your dogs.
Hey, listen, today we're going to be talking about the digital marketing trends for the nonprofit sector for 2024.
Correct. And it's a good, so season 2 of the podcast. We're here now. So that's a good
season 2,
one.
episode 1.
That's a good way to kick it off. I think that's just talking about trends for 2024, how things are going to shake out, how we're trying to help our nonprofit clients and how nonprofits who, can help themselves, just some insights for how to get things done. So
because we do a lot of work with nonprofit clients and small business clients. We work with both, and a lot of the same marketing principles apply to both.
Mm-hmm. You'd be surprised how many of the same marketing principles apply to both.
I think that's one of the reasons that that nonprofits often struggle is that they don't think of it as a business.
Exactly.
They don't think of it as a business. They think of it as a charity. They think of it as something good to do.
So thereby they have to go about everything entirely differently, right? In their own minds they do, where they're just an organization with a special tax designation.
Right. Right. They're an organization, and in order to do the work that you want to do as a nonprofit, you've got to make some money.
That's correct. Money is oxygen, as our good friend Jimmy LaRose
says. And nonprofit doesn't mean that you don't make money. It means that you spend that money on your cause. You make all kinds of money.
You invest that back in your cause.
And then you invest that money back in your cause. So,
to be able to do awesome things like hiring additional program staff.
Right.
To be able to maybe bring on some people who can expand your community outreach. That sort of thing.
And to be able to just help people. You have people that you're serving, and you... as we get into the marketing trends here in a little bit, I just want to encourage you as a nonprofit, go ahead and think of it as a business. Go ahead and think of it as knowing that your most important thing that you do is making money. Because, if you're an organization that serves the indigent and the poor, that's a noble cause. And how are you going to serve them if you don't have any money to serve them? We want to help you get that money so that you can serve them.
Right.
That's really, really part of the key of what we want to see happen. We want to see those people helped. That's kind of a rewarding part of our business.
It is.
Because we get to help people. Like that's the end result.
We get to help people help people.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a lot of different, that is very rewarding, representing a lot of different nonprofits. Our impact thereby can be just exponential because we're helping this nonprofit reach this demographic of people. We have helping this nonprofit reach this demographic of people. So, I mean, I don't know, in a way, we're our own nonprofit.
We are not
helping out the world.
We are not a nonprofit.
But we're not.
However, mission is at the center of what we do, which I think makes it a lot of fun.
Correct.
So, Kelsey.
Yeah, what?
you ever just have a brain fart?
Kelsey.
Who farted? Josh's brain.
Josh's brain.
So listen, we like to ask fun questions to kind of kick off those icebreaker questions, which are appropriate considering all the ice and snow outside.
Yeah.
We can break some of that up with these questions.
Break some of that up and make it go away entirely and melt and be 50 degrees warmer so I can go play golf.
So since Christmas has just come and gone, I love the white elephant, that you have for office Christmas parties. We didn't get to do an office Christmas party because it would be boring because it would just be the two of us. So, but every time we get together, it's a party.
Oh, sure.
So,
correct.
But in the course of your storied and experienced career, and life.
In life, yeah.
And life. What is your favorite gag Christmas gift?
Okay, so this was this is great. This was when I was younger. I was a kid. And my dad and his best friend Jack, they were both police officers in the Buffalo area together. They were partners for 30 years, So they were naturally very, very good friends. My dad gets Jack for Christmas, the scratch-offs, lottery scratch-offs. Like, they're a good stocking stuffer. They're a good gift for just, hey, whatever, here's some, hopefully you win some money.
Yeah.
But it was a fake winning scratch off. So Jack and his wife Irene, and I have to preface this, Jack has since passed away. He passed away like 6-7 years ago, which is very sad. He was a hilarious guy. Just, oh my God, the stories that I have about him. So Dad gives him this scratch off and he does it there on the spot and he wins $250,000 and he is freaking out.
Oh my gosh.
He and Irene are freaking out about how, oh my God, this solves so many financial problems. It was fake. As I said, it was fake.
How far did your dad let him go?
Not very far because they were starting to get into like what they're going to do with the money and everything like that. And Dad had to cut him off pretty quickly, and
yeah, it kind of backfired. Like,
yeah,
it would have been. It's funny until you realize I just really let them down.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and I mean, and how do you not
pay for our cancer surgery, and we can get our dog's legs fixed, and we can
exactly
we can bring Grandma home from jail.
Grandma's in jail. No, but yeah. So I mean, how could that gift not backfire? Because I mean, like, if you're going to receive $250,000, like, you're going to be pretty damn pumped, yeah. Which they were. So anyway, Dad is like, okay, I'm sorry, it's fake, and they're thinking it's not fake or whatever. And it did say on the back, like, this is a gag, like, so there's the disclaimer there or whatever. But I mean, at first they didn't believe him because they thought he wanted to take it back.
Oh my gosh.
They wanted to take the money back.
You just want my money.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, look, it says on the back, like, this is a toy for entertainment purposes only. Like, it was just a gag gift, that sort of thing. And Jack and Irene were mad. They did not speak to Dad for a while after that. I mean, like, and that we're talking about a 30-year friendship. I mean, eventually it all blew over and everyone was able to laugh about it, sometime down the road. But I mean, like, they did not talk for a while. And Dad was pretty distraught about that. He felt like he lost a best friend. But I mean, like,
playing a trick.
Yeah, but they thought it was a pretty cruel trick. So yeah, that was my favorite gag Christmas gift, just because it was funny and then tragic. And then it became funny again sometime later, and I haven't thought about that in a long time. Cause like I was little, I was younger. Not little, like I wasn't like 3 or anything like that, but I was a kid, so naturally I thought it was hilarious. He's like, watch the reaction to this.
That's great. That's great.
Yep. What about you, buddy?
Okay. A couple of years ago, we typically go to my mom's on Christmas Eve, and then everybody comes over here on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And we're at my mom's, and my mom gave my daughter-in-law a $50 bill. And she pulls it out, and who's on the $50 bill? Ulysses S. Grant.
Todd Grant?
Ulysses S. Grant. Which actually wasn't, his middle name wasn't S, and I think he changed his name to sound, like it was something like Todd. It was something really stupid. And he changed it to sound more manly,
Okay.
But anyway, he's on this bill, and she's looking at it. She's like, he's so handsome. He kind of looks like my dad. And we were all just like making fun of her and laughing, because that was hilarious. And as we looked, we're like, he actually does kind of look like your dad. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we never noticed that Ulysses S. Grant is kind of handsome.
Yeah.
But then we started teasing her because it was hilarious. And so, we all laughed for like an hour, and then came home that night, and I'm wrapping presents, and I had this idea, and I'm like, this is going to be perfect. So I had a picture frame in here from something else, and I took the picture out, and I printed off an 8.5 by 11 picture of Ulysses S. Grant. And,
handsome man.
Yeah,
I believe he won the Civil War.
Yes, he did. And he looks like Dennis Campbell, who is my daughter-in-law's father. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the picture because I'm holding it up. If you're just listening,
that is an immaculate beard.
He's so gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a very nice
He's a
beard.
handsome man. So I printed it off and I wrapped it up. So this was like from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. So like the timing is perfect for a joke. It hasn't been long, so it's all fresh. We're all still laughing about it, And I put it, with her name on under the tree. So she opens it up and everybody laughed and it was great, Well,
can you show him again?
Yeah, let me show him. Isn't he handsome?
Yeah, he's giving off real, most interesting man in the world vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those Dos Equis commercials?
Yeah, and he probably would have drank Dos Equis if it had been around in the 1860s.
At museums, he's allowed to touch the art. He bowls overhand.
So I... bowling overhand. So I fast forward to this year. And, Melody and Isaiah and my other kids, several of them gave presents this year that they made or regifted because they needed a little extra money and
sure.
Nobody wanted to expect a lot of them. So I opened this present and on it is written Samuel L. Jackson. Like on the right corner. Let me see if you can see it.
Was he swearing?
Is it on here? I don't know. I don't think you can see it because it's kind of faint. But it was written on here. And so I open it up and I'm like, Samuel L. Jackson. And so apparently the day before, they were sitting there talking like, what should we give your dad? And Isaiah's like, I don't know. And Melly says, how about we regift that picture of U.S. General Samuel L. Jackson?
Wow.
So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you U.S. General and President and winner of the Civil War,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. So that is my favorite gag Christmas gift. That not only was it a great gag because of the first time that it got given, it had just the perfect timing, and then this time it came back with like a perfect faux pas that just made it hilarious. So,
oh my Lord!
So on your $50 bill, if you pull it out, that is not Ulysses S. Grant. That is Samuel L. Jackson.
That is Sam Jackson.
Yes.
In Jurassic Park, being like, "Hold on to your butts,
mother effer."
Yep. Sam Jackson.
He goes to Appomattox and he sits down across from General Lee, and he says, "This war is over, mother effer."
That's exactly how it went down.
Oh, I'm in trouble. Anyway, that's the best gag Christmas gift.
That's really solid.
And
that's
nobody got mad and ended their friendship over it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's positive.
So, guys, if you are a nonprofit and you're listening to this podcast and you know that you've got a story to tell, you know that you need some help with the marketing aspect of things, we've put together a fantastic ebook for you.
You did such a great job with that, by the way.
Dude,
continue.
Yeah, it was one of those projects that I'm like, we need to put this together, and I know it's going to take a lot of work. And then we just had a little bit of a chunk of time where I could do it, and then as I got going, it became like a behemoth. Like it was supposed to be a few pages, and then I'm like, no, but we need to tell this, and we need to talk about this. So
there's a lot you need to cover in that.
There's so much. So it's actually a very valuable book. Like right now we're giving it away for free, but we might sell it later. Honestly, I think we're going to put a price tag on it later.
There's a lot of insights in there.
So if you want this, you need to get it now before we start charging. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the show notes and you look at our nonprofit digital storytelling guide, this is going to help you. It's going to help you have an epic impact on your community. It's going to help you change the world, because that's why you do your nonprofit, is to change the world. And we want to help you do that. So we're going to equip you. That's really what this book does. It equips you to be able to tell your story. Mm-hmm. And in that telling of your story, and not just tell your story, but like actually tell your story in a way that helps you reach more people, that helps you grow your nonprofit, that helps you get access to grant funders and and fundraising and donor dollars. Mm-hmm. That's what we want to help you do.
Right.
So that's what this digital storytelling guide does.
Well, it just helps you to like hone in your storytelling philosophy about your nonprofit. Because as I've said before, nonprofits are a story within themselves. Every single person served is a story because they have a personal story, you know? And when you multiply that over hundreds and thousands and sometimes even millions, I mean, like there's always an opportunity to tell the story, but you have to tell it right as a nonprofit. It's not enough for you to be talking about how great your organization is. But if if it's like organization centric, it needs to be outwardly focused. Like the actual story is the impact in the community, the people served. This storytelling guide helps you to tell those stories more effectively
and to the right people.
Yes,
to the right people, because when you tell the right people your story, they help fund your mission.
Exactly.
So we want to help you do that. So we've got a free guide to help you out. So again, it's free for now.
Link in the show notes. So just click that link and you can download it. So I think it's good stuff anyway. It is 47 pages of great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. 47 pages.
Yeah, it could be 80 pages if we wanted it to be, but
well, there's more that you can expand upon. As you said, there's a lot that you need to touch on there.
Yeah. And I think honestly what I'd like to do is we're going to give it away for free for right now. I'd like to turn it into something even more valuable.
Yep.
And then we're going to charge for it so this is a limited time offer. It's not going to be here forever. We're going to make it something even better. Mm-hmm. So it's available for now for free.
Right. Okay. So where do we start, buddy?
All right. So today's episode, we are talking about 2024. Can you believe it's 2024? Like, this is crazy. Like,
almost a quarter of the way through the century.
Like, I was born in 1978.
Mm-hmm. I was born in 1989.
We grew up, so we were alive. Well, you were alive in a little bit of the 80s.
Yeah,
but
I saw the 80s.
Yeah,
I experienced the 80s.
But we were thinking about the Back to the Future time frame and what the world was going to be like, and flying cars and
entire meals in pill form.
Yeah, and shoes that lace themselves.
Mm-hmm. I'm still working on a patent for that, by the way. Yeah. That's happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, the world might not look like we thought it was going to look like.
No.
But in 2024, now that you live in the future, need to pay attention to what's happening in digital marketing. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of things that are happening really in marketing and storytelling across the board for everybody, businesses and nonprofits. But there are some things that we really want you to be aware of and to think about, because to be able to have a good digital presence really matters. One, to the people that you serve so that they can know how they can access what you're doing. And two, to the people that fund your mission so that they can know that you're legitimate. And that's what we want to help you do. We want to really help you make sure that you are communicating your message to the people that need to see it.
Right. The people that need to see it, the big money donors, the grant funders, the foundations, whatever. The first place they're going to go now in the 21st century, the first place they're going to go if you have submitted a case for support, if you've submitted a grant proposal, if you've just begun reaching out to them, just to build a relationship with donors, because money is oxygen. I hate to use that again, but you need that to be able to accomplish your mission. So they are the people, the funders, they are effectively your customer as a nonprofit. A lot of people get that. A lot of nonprofit people get that backwards. Well, isn't that the people that we serve? Aren't they our customer? No, they're not paying for your services. Someone's got to pay for it along the way. Mm-hmm. Someone's got to fund it. So the first place that they're going to go is going to be your website, your social media. They're going to want to see that you have the mechanism for outreach to be able to accomplish your mission. They want to see that you are a credible organization.
And not a fly-by-night scam that's pretending to be a nonprofit organization.
Exactly.
And
well, that too. That's a very good point.
You'd be surprised how many legitimate nonprofit organizations, when you start looking at their digital presence, and their Facebook page and their lack of any other, and you see what they've been posting and you see what their website looks like and you're like, is this place even real?
Right.
Is this a real place or is this just pretending so that they can get my money? And that happens. Like for the fraud, like there are, I see stories all the time of people who are defrauding, because they've done a good job at faking it, And what you really need to do is you want to make sure that you can clearly communicate who you are so that the people that give you money know who you are. And that matters. So let's look at the the trends in marketing this year, in 2024, what you should expect, because marketing is always changing. There's new technology that comes out. There's, new algorithms. Everything changes. So let's talk about the first trend to watch, which is personalization. Now, what does that mean to you when you hear personalization when it comes to marketing? What is something that you think about, Kelsey?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the being named, having your name in the subject line of an email or,
Sure.
what have you. But I like to take it a step further in trying to reach the members of your target audience, the demographics where they are. So making an effort to reach them in those, especially if you're reaching out to donors, big money donors, they're professional people. Where are they going to be interacting online? They're going to be on LinkedIn. There's a lot, at least there's going to be a lot of interaction there. There's going to be a lot of content consumption that's coming from that specific area. So personalization to me means reaching out to them where they are, where they live in the digital space. And sometimes, and it's not enough just to post on LinkedIn. You want to be posting in the groups that they're members of. Yeah, exactly. And paying for paid advertising if you can afford it.
Well, and with the paid advertising aspect of things too, dude, I can't get over. So how often I'm getting targeted ads that are very specific.
Sure.
Now, sometimes they don't get me at all, right? Sometimes they don't get me at all. And it's like, you think you know me. But a lot of times I'm getting ads served to me on social media or even website searches or YouTube, things like that, that are very specific that only somebody like me would be interested in.
Sure.
And you used to see this, you don't see it as much anymore, but you ever see they were actually doing ads where you'd get served a t-shirt that had your last name on it.
Yeah.
It'd be like Boudin, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which I want to buy.
We're seeing a little bit less of that, I think, because there's been a few kind of tweaks to privacy, which, especially with iPhone, and Apple.
Yeah.
So there's been some tweaks which kind of keeps some of those ads from showing up like they used to. However, I'm getting ads that are very specific for things that I've said out loud, for things that I've searched for things that I'm interested in. And so that is one aspect of personalization that I think we need to keep in mind as well, is that you can do some research, you can do some poking, and you can target ads to the right people at the right place so that they're seeing it, especially if they've already interacted with you. You can actually target ads to people that have interacted with you so that you see them again and again and again, which is really amazing. And I think it's a trend that we need to watch this year.
Right. And I love that that's one of your areas of expertise is absolutely hitting that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a perfect expert on it yet. I'm still learning a lot of it because it's constantly changing. That's one thing.
Well, that's the point. Is
Yeah.
You're about as expert as they could come with it.
Yeah. Well,
it's always, you're right. It is always
it's
changing.
always changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do some targeted advertising that really gets, because if I'm going to spend $100 on an ad, right? Or $1,000, but let's just say 100, because that's a little more realistic for me, right? If I'm going to spend $100 on an ad, I want to know that I'm not, let's say I'm going to sell coffee cups, right? Because there's a coffee cup in front of me. I want that coffee cup ad to show up in front of people that drink coffee or tea.
Right.
If I'm advertising people that drink Mountain Dew, they're not necessarily going to be interested in the coffee cup ad. And so finding that targeting is really the same thing as personalization in a way, because you're making sure that your content is serving the people that you want to serve. So
right.
So the next trend that we really need to pay attention to, I think, is investing in the digital realm. Kelsey, we talked a little bit about that as we started the show.
We need to retouch on that.
Let's really hit that. So as a nonprofit, why is this important?
Sure. Well, as I said, the first place that big money donors and foundations and anyone who's going to support your mission with a grant or what have you, is they're going to go to your digital presence. They're going to go to your website. They're going to go to your social media. And I always say this: the last thing that you want them to encounter when they get to your digital presence is a digital graveyard, a website that hasn't been updated since 2018, a social media account that hasn't seen a post in the last 4.5 months. that sort of thing, it shows you're not active. It shows you don't care. It shows you're not out there trying to, have that mechanism that I alluded to, the mechanism for community outreach, which is the only way for you to make an impact, for people to be aware of your initiatives and programs and services.
Well, and let's look at it this way. Let's say I'm a grant funder, right? Or a large donor.
Sure. And
I'm going to give to a nonprofit organization. I want to know that nonprofit organization is getting funding from somebody other than just me.
Right.
Right. I want to know that they're putting the work in to get other people to help support this cause, because, my $10,000 that I'm giving them is only going to go so far. And I know they have that they want to reach more people. And if I give it to them and they're not doing anything to reach more people, to get more funding, to help more people, so that's one of the things that you're able to show with your digital presence, is that you're actually actively seeking donors, actively seeking more partners in your mission.
Exactly. Yep.
So the idea of making sure that things are donor centric, that your messaging is attracting more people to donate to it. Anything else about the making sure that the nonprofits are really beefing up their digital presence? Anything in particular you think they could do? What's the first step they should do if their digital presence is a graveyard? What's the first place to start?
Well, I mean, the first place that they're going to look is the website. So just make sure that you have an attractive website. With one of our clients that we've been doing some work with, one of our nonprofit clients that we've been doing some work with for the past, probably 4 or 5 months, that was the first order of business.
Yeah.
Is to create that website, the new website. Because, I mean, what they had, while it was I would say like a serviceable mechanism to collect donations, and it did, it would highlight, the times that they're open and the services that they provide or whatever. It wasn't a very attractive presence. It was
also difficult for them to update, so they didn't.
Exactly. So that was the first place.
It was also not properly optimized for SEO. So if you Google it, they don't come up very well. Lots of things like that. You really, that's I think the best starting place.
Yeah.
And to have something like that is able to capture people's attention and communicate what you need to communicate, and people can find you. Like you've got to have that. It's really important.
Right. Well, and another thing, I mean, like continuing to invest in your digital presence, I mean, then naturally you're going to social media.
Right.
And if, a small nonprofit, all they have is a Facebook account that hasn't been updated in 18 months.
Right.
At least have several different channels that are most applicable to your target audiences. And then furthermore, getting that LinkedIn out there. So you're maybe you're not necessarily putting out the same social media posts that you're putting out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what have you. You're putting out more targeted messaging that's talking about your community impact to the people that are directly giving to you. So you're differentiating your messaging specifically to the people who have the power to bankroll your mission. Again, they are your customers. So you need to have the social media presence as well. That's non-negotiable anymore.
Right.
Yeah. You can't just cobble together something with a crappy Facebook account. It's just not going to happen.
And let me say this too, like your messaging there makes an impact for people to be able to find you, because if nobody knows who you are,
right,
and they don't see it, this is another one that I think is worth talking about. So I don't want to bash any of our clients, but I think this is safe to say about all of our clients. Okay. So I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not calling anybody out. Let's say you're not at the place where you're ready to invest money into your digital presence yet. You know that you're going to want to. I want to challenge you to invest some time into it right away.
Yep.
And the first order of business that I want you to do is to make sure that you have access to your website.
Yep.
And you have access to your Facebook page and your Instagram account and all of those things. I would set up a social media account for all of them. Make sure that you've got the profile with your link to everything. Even if you're not updating it yet, have it out there. But make sure you have all of that information in one place. Make a document, put your passwords in it. If you have a social media account, it's usually off of your personal account. You have to have a personal account that then can link to your business account. And so do that and know how to get in there, because when you are at the place where you're ready to invest, it's going to be a pain in the rear for you to be able to add people to it if you don't know where it is. So if you're going to...
We encounter that
every
so
time,
often.
every time.
And again, we're not bashing the clients. No, it's a lot of it's just because they've been run a certain way.
And an intern set it up 10 years ago.
Exactly.
And nobody knows where anything is, and it's been changed. So make sure that, like, if you have an email account that's for your overall marketing and your overall operations or whatever, that you know what the password is to it. If you've got, because now you've got things like two-factor authentication, where if we go to log into your website, it's going to send you a text message, and if that's not up to date in your profile, then somebody that doesn't even work at your company anymore is getting a text message so that they can authorize. Get all of it together today. Like, make this your first order of business in 2024. Whether you're ready to invest or not, take the time to just take one day. You can do it all in one day. You really can.
Yep.
Get all of your social stuff and all of your website stuff and all of your email stuff in one place with all your passwords, so you know where it is and you know how to access it. So that when you are ready to hire somebody, or when you're ready to bring on a new intern, or when you're ready to bring on somebody to help you with it, or start working on it,
or start working on it yourself.
or even start working on it yourself, everything is together. I think that's that's not even a money investment. That's just take the time to do it, because it's going to save you time and hassle later.
Right.
For sure.
Well, you said you could do it in a day. You could do it in an hour.
Yeah. Well,
it depends, but I mean,
if it's not missing, if everything's not missing, and like, if everything, you should be able to do it in an hour. You should be able to do it in an hour. It might take you longer if, you've got to contact somebody to get the information, you know what I mean? But take a day, plan a day of getting it all together. And if you get it all together in an hour, spend the rest of the day creating some content for it.
Sure.
Go
chat GPT some social media posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be better if you had a real life human writing it. I mean, I think that's going to make it better. But if you can't afford to pay us yet, do that. Get something out.
Right.
Get it in front of people. So that's my quick little advice on the digital realm. Kelsey, what do you think about harnessing the power of video?
I think that's something that you do an incredible job of. You are the expert in that, my friend.
I actually I'm pulling up something on my phone because I want to model this here.
Right.
Something that we can do. Actually real time. We're going to show them something.
Sure.
I just have to switch into...
Well, while you're doing that...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, while you're doing that, it's just that obviously, as social media has evolved and as the human brain has evolved with it, attention spans are different. The types of content that people like to consume are different. People aren't necessarily, there are some, but people aren't necessarily out to read a 1,600 word blog post when they could get the same information in a 30-second video snippet.
Right.
That sort of thing. So yeah, video content itself, short form video content, stuff that can be consumed easily, quickly, and get the information they need. I mean, like the importance of that in 2024, it was important in 2016.
Right.
It's not a new trend. It's only a growing trend that you need to invest in.
Right. And, there are all kinds of video that you can use. We talked about the short form, which is it's super helpful. There are discovery algorithms that exist now, right? So when, we talked a little bit about that personalization that happens with advertising where you can target people. Well, TikTok really kind of made this famous, and then Facebook and Instagram kind of modeled it, and YouTube kind of followed the model where if you're interested in golf...
Yay! I am.
I know you are. And so you'll watch a golf video, right? You're scrolling and you see a video of golf and you watch the golf video. The algorithm on that social media channel now knows you like golf videos. Because you spent... it was a 1 minute and 30-second video, and you watched all minute and 30-second of it, and you gave it a heart, and you commented.
Yep.
So you know what's going to happen to your feed? It's going to show you more golf videos.
Yep.
Because it sees that you engage with that. And so, And anybody that's been on social media that's listening to this knows exactly what I'm talking about because they see it happen. So why not create some content that does that for you? Because if there are people out there that are interested in what you're doing, let's get it in front of them.
Yeah.
You know? And you've got to be creative with that too, right? So like, let's say you're reaching your in your community, right? So let's say, I live in Bradford, Pennsylvania, and let's say I have a charity in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Well, the people that I serve, they're not necessarily my target audience, but my donors are. So what are my donors interested in?
Right.
And you know what? It's snowing today. And let's say, what if I did a quick drive tour of Bradford and showed the snow that's happening today? That might seem like a waste of time marketing wise.
Right.
But you know what? The people in my community or people from my community who still have moved away, but they invest back in their community.
Sure.
They love that stuff. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They love seeing their old hometown covered in snow. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
So when you're thinking of what kind of video to post, think about what your people are interested in, and then you make videos about that. And if they like, let's say your donors, maybe you are a nonprofit that gives coats to people that need coats. Well, guess what? Showing the work that you do, you're showing a coat distribution drive that day, and you show a little video clip it. That you can shoot on your cell phone. You show a little clip of it.
That's the next point. It's cost effective. Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't have to be professionally produced anymore. People like that authenticity, even.
Yes.
Of just hey, here's a cell phone video. This is some awesome stuff that's going on.
And you can shoot it and show it, and it's awesome. All right, one more quick thing I think you need to take advantage of, and we're going to do it right now.
Yeah. Do you have that thing ready?
Yeah. So, live video. People love live video. You can post live video on Facebook, on Instagram, all over.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm going to go on the StratComm.Live page right now, which when you're listening to this, it'll be later, but that's fine. You can look back and see it if you want. So I'm making a post, and I'm saying recording new episodes, and I'm giving an exclamation point because I use way too many exclamation points. And I'm going to click live, and then I'm going to go live. So I'm on my cell phone, and we're going live right now in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Hey, there we are.
We're live right now. Hey, guys, how's it going?
How y'all doing?
So we're doing a live video while we're recording a podcast episode. Yep. Now, we might get some people that hop on this video and pay attention to it, and we might not yet, and that's okay.
Do you see our ring lights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the studio. This is the studio that is also the home of Manlyhood. So that wall that's showing up on the live video but not showing up on the podcast is my Manlyhood set. Mm-hmm. And then, this set with the... Whoa! I think I messed it up. There we go. This set with the bear and the guitar, that's my shot. And then over here we've got... Hi, Kelsey.
Hey, what's going on? Do I look comfortable over here?
You're probably not, because that chair is definitely not comfortable.
Well, no, I got the
You've got the pillow now.
Pillow on it now. Yeah, and we got my background there. That's one of my paintings that I did, my Bob Ross style type things.
And the old TV that I bought off Marketplace for $5.
Uh-huh.
And then this one that I think I bought at Goodwill for $5. I just love old TVs. I think they're fun. But so that's our studio. That's our podcast studio, and we're going live while we're doing a podcast episode because for our social media listeners, they would find this interesting. And now, so let's say you're doing a coat drive and you want to encourage people to stop in and bring their coats so that you can give them. Mm-hmm. That donation of a coat is going to help somebody. So you can do a coat drive and you can do a live video and promote it.
Right.
The cool thing about live videos is they usually stick around afterwards too. We have somebody watching. Who is that? Umesh Chandra Vadav. I'm not sure who you are, but awesome. I'm so glad you're watching. I hope I said your name right, and if I didn't, I apologize. I don't have my readers on, so I might have missed a letter or two trying to make that out. You doing good today? I hope so. So, yeah, you can use a live video, and I'm going to end this live video now that we've made our point, I think.
Yeah.
So those of you who are watching this little social media clip live, thank you for watching.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I want to see you hop on to our podcast and make sure you listen so you can see the context of this live video. Mm-hmm. But I did it that way because I wanted to show how simple it is to do.
Sure.
I literally took out my cell phone.
You pull out a cell phone.
I typed something and I clicked go live.
Mm-hmm. Pretty simple.
And then talked about what we're doing. Mm-hmm. So with your nonprofit, do that often. You know, you can make all kinds of short form videos about anything. You know, there's even a way you have to hack it a little bit, but you can actually download that video and cut it up into smaller videos if you want. You know, but that video, that live video gives you access to people, you know?
Yeah.
And the more that you do it, the more that the algorithm will show it to people. And again, even if they're not watching live, they'll watch it later because it'll show up in their feed. So, and if you do it right, which I didn't do, you can promo that. We're going to be going live at 10 o'clock. Make sure you tune in.
Yep.
You know? So anyway, I know that's a long little clip about video. That's only one of the trends, but I think you really need to take it seriously. Whether you're especially short form, especially YouTube, especially TikTok, especially Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels, and considering live video as well.
Correct. And anyone can do that. My mother in the nursing home could do that.
Sure.
You know, and she hates using her phone, but she could do that.
But she could do that.
She could do that.
Yeah,
so you, dear nonprofit leader, you could do that.
And you'd be surprised at the things people find interesting too. Mm-hmm. So, Kelsey, tell me about influencers. That's a buzzword right now. Everybody's talking about influencers, and all these, Gen Z people think they're going to make $1 million being an influencer. But how does that relate to nonprofit marketing?
Right. Okay. Well, you're not necessarily trying to find the the person on TikTok who has a million followers or whatever, who does crazy stuff. I mean, an influencer, think outside of the box. Who might an influencer in your nonprofit industry be? Someone else who might have a similar nonprofit who serves a role in the continuum of services that you provide. Maybe someone else that you, some other organization that you partner with on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be the person with the massive following. It could just be another person who gives you another 1,000 sets of eyes on your content. So, I mean, think within your community, that sort of thing.
Yeah. If you're doing an event, or if you're doing even just a social media event, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe you're doing a live video, why don't you partner up with somebody in your community who is also someone respected by your target audience?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the mayor, maybe it's a journalist.
Sure.
Maybe you work with your local newspaper and you build that relationship. And I like the word influencer for this, because while we see that connotation of the makeup artist or the stunt guy, right, from TikTok, that's the first thing that comes to mind, the Gen Z kind of thing. The concept has been around a long time, mm-hmm. but viewing it as partnering with somebody that can reach your potential audience. Mm-hmm.
Again, another 1,000 sets of eyes.
Powerful.
Yeah. I mean, and for a nonprofit, that is, a lot of digital capital.
And it could be as simple as sending a message to somebody who's got a Facebook page and saying, hey, look, we're doing a can drive for canned food this month. Would you be willing to share our posts about it for the next month as we count down to this? And they might say, yeah, I'm all about that. Let's do it.
Yep.
They might say, we don't know what we're doing when it comes to social media, so we're not going to be a big help. So look for the people that know how to do that, obviously. But,
right.
But there's all kinds of things. Maybe you plan an event together,
Sure.
But
co-hosting an event, that could be very, very valuable. Yeah. Absolutely. Two brands coming together to address a common cause. That sort of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I, another example, when I worked at the local manufacturing company. Yeah. So we would get a message, usually before Thanksgiving, from one of the local food pantries. And they would ask us if we would do a food drive in our cafeteria, you know what I mean? Our lunchroom.
Sure.
And we'd put up a box and a little flyer that they gave us. And then our people would all donate to the food drive. And then, of course, we would take a picture of the food that we were donating and do a little social post about it, and tag
them in
it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that our company looks great for helping that cause, and they get a little bit of extra eyes and attention on their cause. Mm-hmm. That's an easy influencer partnership.
Sure. Absolutely. So again, it doesn't have to be the person with 1 million followers. It could just be the other person who has or the other organization in town that is doing something similar to you, that, you know, they can just put that out there and they can enjoy being tagged.
Right.
I guess.
Right. Sure.
You know, well, I mean, I shouldn't say enjoy, but reap the benefits of it.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So, what are some resources? I know there's a lot of different resources out there for nonprofits, but you know, I know obviously we're a resource for nonprofits because of what we can offer in terms of helping you do these things. But then we also give you information. But how can you leverage other resources to help you in your marketing? Where else can you learn this kind of information?
Right. Well, one of them actually is a former client of ours, the NANO.
Friends of ours.
Yep, they're friends of ours. Yep. Yeah. National Association of Nonprofit Organizations and Executives. If you go to nano.org, they have a wealth of resources for nonprofit executives, nonprofit leaders, board members. They have a lot of trainings that have to do with anything from fundraising to there's marketing there, there's branding there. There's a lot of tools at your disposal. And if you become a member of Nano, you have access to free material that has already been produced. So it's taking the time away from having, all you have to do is kind of plug that in and plug your name in there and, you know, maybe put in some details that are specific to your organization, but that stuff has been done for you. So like I said, it is a wealth of resources.
I know that she works with Nano, and we have worked with her as well. As Joanne Appelt is another great resource. She's more
on the fundraising side of things, but yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But it definitely can connect you and give you those resources, that information that will help you to be able. And I think that connecting with that is something, you know, the personal growth is something that we all need, right? And if you're a nonprofit executive, you need that access to things that will help you grow to become a better leader of a nonprofit organization.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to become a better marketer, you know, there's information in there that will help you do that. It all comes together, I think.
Yeah. She has a ton of books out, and she has a lot of free content on her website, you know, that is dealing with, again, that mostly is dealing with fundraising things, but then there are other topics and subjects that she covers that are tangential to that all affect and impact fundraising in one way or another. Some of it's branding, some of it's just kind of building your board of directors. It's something that you need to know as a nonprofit leader. So yeah, she's another great resource.
And of course, the work that we're doing here at StratComm.Live.
Yep.
You know, we're trying to keep that updated with blog posts, not just from our company, from Grand River Agency, but other places that also help equip you. So, you know, stay tuned to that blog, because we're going to keep content coming to you that is going to help you to level up your approach.
Yep. And in addition to that, like in addition to our podcast here and our blog at StratComm.Live, we still have at grandriveragency.io, grandriver.agency, we have our blog posts, our blog there as well, that has just a lot of content that's helpful.
Yeah, because, you know, that's a business model that I think a lot of people don't realize is good, is that, you know, I mean, we could just gatekeep all this information and only give it to you if you pay us. But I think I've found that if we just invest it in you and helps you, then when you're ready, you know who we are.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, that same strategy may work for some nonprofit marketing. You will have to do some, you know, that idea of informing people and keeping people abreast of what you're doing, making them feel like they're a part of your mission. Maybe they couldn't give, you know, $10,000 for your project that you need right now, but you made them feel like they're a part of what you're doing. You've helped them. You've added value to their life. Then when they're ready, they're gonna buy. You know, they're gonna donate. They're gonna be a part of it.
Yeah, and they're gonna partner in your nonprofit mission. That's the way that I like to refer to it. You are inviting them to partner at a time that is appropriate for them.
Right, and so when we put out all this free content, that's our goal as well. Is that when you're ready and able to invest to level up your marketing, we're here for you. And in the meantime, we're still here for you, and we're helping you in what way we can. So hopefully that's good stuff for you. So
yeah, I think so. That's the way that it works.
And it's important to be real, to be authentic. You know, like transparency is something that, especially when it comes to fundraising, that is important. And there's all kinds of steps out there and things that you can do to make sure that people know, that you're legitimate and that you're honest and that you have integrity. Mm-hmm. But the same thing with your messaging itself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Don't try to, make yourself look like you're a multi-million-dollar nonprofit when you're not. It's okay if they see some of the flaws, if they see some of the mistakes, if they see some of the holes. That's okay.
Well, that's a part of the story.
Right.
The challenges that you face and the challenges that you overcome. I mean, especially for a lot of the small to mid-sized nonprofits that are, they might be working on a budget of less than $250,000 a year. That in itself is a barrier to being able to provide services. And I mean, it's a barrier that they're actively trying to overcome through the digital realm by putting their messaging out there,
And it's important that you stay on top of what's happening digitally, because like we said earlier, things are constantly changing. Like I can't tell you how many times I'll go to a great example of this is adding an admin to your Facebook page, right? We talked a little bit about that earlier. The place to do it last year versus where you do it this year. It's why did they change it? I don't know, but they did. Mm-hmm. And so, as you're learning to manage your nonprofit marketing, things change, things shift. If you would have told me 5 years ago that, or maybe 10 years ago, that the app Musical.ly, which was 13-year-olds lip syncing, right, to music videos and dancing, that would become one of the primary ways that people communicate and buy goods in the TikTok shop, that has become not just about kids lip syncing and dancing and doing funny things. It has become a complete change in our culture. You got to stay on top of what's happening,
right? So
that you know it, because it's always changing, it's always adapting, and if you can adapt with it, if you can follow along at least a little bit, it's going to help you engage more people, because you'll understand who they are and how they think, and you'll be able to reach them where they're at.
Right. I want to go back to the authenticity thing too.
Do it.
It just kind of coming full circle, back to the beginning is, as I said, nonprofits themselves are story machines. Everything that they're doing is a story, but the messaging, the story itself needs to be outwardly focused. And one of the most inauthentic ways that you can promote your message is to talk about how great you are as an organization. We did this. We're doing this. Here's a photo of us on our social media accepting money, a check passing or whatever, a $10,000 check, and we do this. That might help. You're going to get a lot of likes on that. You're going to get likes and loves and some comments and everything like that. But that's not the actual story. The story is the person you are helping. And every single person you are helping has their own story to tell. You can tell it for them. You can, go live with them and have them tell it themselves. This is, or they can go on there and be like, "Hi, I'm Todd, and I'm just so happy to have received this winter coat. It was going to be a really cold winter." That sort of thing. Tell the story for them, what have you. And
money follows mission.
It does. Yes, it does.
Money follows vision. And when you can cast a vision and invite people to join you in your mission, they don't care how great you are. People don't care how great you are. Mm-hmm. They don't care that you're the leading nonprofit leader in your community. Mm-hmm. They don't care. But they do care about the people you serve. And they want to help those people, and they want to be a part of your mission.
Yep.
And so I think that keeping our egos in check, right? Keeping our egos in check and recognizing that our job is helping people, but our job is also inviting other people to be a part of helping people.
Right.
It's powerful, dude. It's powerful.
Yes, it is. So, moving down here without making my screen mess up too much.
So that's the trends that we see in 2024 for sure. That's what we're going to see marketing wise, and the perspectives that I think we need to have if we want to be successful in marketing our nonprofits in 2024. And so if you need help, that we're here to help you. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we've got all kinds of resources we're giving you for free. including, and I'll hit this now before we get into a fun story.
Yeah.
But including our storytelling guide, our digital storytelling guide for nonprofits, where we're going to help you change the world with this, which you can get. The link is in the show notes. If you go to our website and read our blog posts, you'll see links there as well. But really the easiest place right now is to go to the show notes and click Get Your Free Storytelling Guide now, and go there and download that ebook, because that's going to help you. And that's one of the ways that we can help you. But if you find yourself in a position where you're like, I just need to pay somebody to do this work because I'm too busy serving people. Mm-hmm. I'm too busy raising money.
I'm too busy accomplishing mission. Yeah.
Right. And you should be, because that's your job. And you shouldn't get tied down with all the social media stuff and all the blogging stuff, and your website, it needs some work. That's what we're here to do. So reach out to us and let us know. We'd be more than happy to help.
Absolutely.
All right, dude. That was a fun episode.
Yes, it was.
We had lots of good information, and I'm looking forward to the 2025 marketing trends.
Right.
That's going to be awesome to see what changes happen in the next year.
In the next year, it's just going to go entirely back to blogging.
In the next year,
people are only going to want to read next year, and people are just going to want to read books.
I actually think, we didn't talk about AI in there for a reason, because
Right.
I think that people are already getting a little weary of it.
You think so? I can see it.
I can see it.
I'm glad you say that.
So I want to do another episode about AI. We did one last season in our introductory season, but I want to do another episode about AI and about how to use it appropriately. But that's another topic for another day.
Yep.
I think we're going to see this year. I think we're going to see a rejection of the AI. I think people are going to be like, no, I need real people again.
I'm intrigued. I know this is a different podcast. It's a different podcast for a different day, but I am so curious to see where you see that going.
Yeah, I think people want analog. I think they're ready for analog. Although, there's always the chance that, an EMP goes off and then we're all just analog anyway. And then we have to completely revamp. We won't be talking about digital storytelling then. We'll be talking about how to tell your story with paper and pen.
How to write in cursive.
How to write in cursive. How to use a non-electric typewriter. So, but, who knows? Kelsey, you got a fun story for us, right?
I think I do, and it also kind of has to deal with this. I think what we're trying to get at here in the digital age is creating viral moments.
Yeah.
Viral digital marketing, things that can be shared and shared and shared and shared again to get a lot of eyes on them. So, but when I was working, well, actually, I think we were working at the marketing agency in town here. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, which was a different lifetime.
That shall not be named.
No, they're good people.
They are.
They're fun. We were celebrating National Hot Dog Day. And
which that was their thing, by the way. They would celebrate every random national day.
Oh, sure.
Which was fun.
Oh,
it was a lot of fun.
The employee engagement there, and actually feeling like you're having a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah, very millennial, and that sort of thing. So we were grilling at the end of the day. We're outside in the parking lot and we're grilling all these hot dogs. So our buddy Adam and I, we stage a photo where I'm eating one end of the hot dog and he's eating the other end of the hot dog. And we post that on social media. And I mean, we've worked in digital marketing for a long time. So I mean, having viral moments is just kind of, we've had them before or whatever.
That wasn't your intention.
That was not the intention. It was just funny,
just to make a joke.
It was just to make a joke. Like, are we going to meet in the middle? Is it going to be like Lady and the Tramp, kind of with the spaghetti noodle or whatever? We very well could meet in the middle. Stay tuned for more. So that photo got thousands and thousands of likes and comments, and then we posted it in this group that I was a member of for a while on Facebook. Is called Hot Dogs with Threatening Auras.
Wait, hold on. Why were you in that Facebook
group? Because it was hilarious. because everything that came out of it, they posted multiple times a day, and everything that they posted in there.
Was it always about a hot dog?
It was always about hot dogs with threatening auras. Most of them were.
Does the group still exist? I think I need to join this group.
I don't think it might. It very well might. I know I'm not a member of it.
It was taken down for being offensive during 2020 when everything was offensive.
Yeah. It might very well exist still, but
so you posted it in the group, hot dogs with threatening auras.
Yeah, where it got thousands more comments and likes. And
now, did you share the original post from the page in there, or did you just post the photo directly in there?
We posted the photo directly in there.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as I recall, now this was like, going on like 6-7 years ago or whatever. Yeah. It was a while ago.
Yeah. By the way, marketing tip: if you ever have a photo that you think could go viral in a group called "Hot Dogs with Threatening Auras," share it from your page into the group so that all those likes and comments count.
Yes.
Towards your page engagement.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No. We the whole purpose was like we weren't trying to accomplish that, But yeah, that was a viral moment, and that was actually probably one of my greatest viral moments that had absolutely nothing to do with what we were doing, but it was hilarious.
Nothing to do with marketing.
No.
But it had everything to do with hot dogs with threatening auras.
Hot dogs with threatening auras, and there's Adam and I we're going to meet in the middle. We're going to meet in the middle.
I remember that happening.
Yeah, you were there at the time.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there then, and I remember. I think I remember turning away because it was so awkward and uncomfortable. I remember thinking, "This is a threatening aura.
This is a hot dog threatening aura." My goodness gracious. Yep. So that's how that went down, and that's my funny story.
That's a great story for the day, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we appreciate you guys listening to this episode, our inaugural episode of Season 2 of the StratComm.Live Podcast, the small business and nonprofit marketing podcast. I want to make sure that you check out our website at StratComm.Live. Go there. We've got great articles, great information. It's going to help you really market your small business and market your nonprofit better. That's what we want to see happen. That's what we want to do. That's our mission, is to help you do that.
Sure.
And so go check it out. And if you liked this episode, if you learned something from it, please share it on social. Share it via email with somebody that you know it would benefit. Comment, leave a rating, a review on Spotify and Apple iTunes. And let's just help us get the word out, guys. Tell your friends about it.
Sounds perfect.
We've all got a story to tell.
Let's tell it well.